Hey everybody, Dauntless here, and welcome back to The Last Door. I've been really excited to try and get started with Season 2. This is the season where things kind of go severely downhill, and not for the game, just in general the story gets much darker, and as you can tell, it gets significantly more creepy, as if things couldn't get more creepier from the last one. I guess they always could, but at some point they have to try and have some sort of a good storyline in there instead of just a bunch of jump scares and random creepy moments. But anyway, shall we get this show on the road with episode 1? Previously on The Last Door. Jeremiah Devitt, alerted by the suicide and mysterious letter of his friend Anthony Beechworth, went in search for the memories of his past that he had lost. Devitt discovered that in school he had taken part in a strange experiment. Its goal was to peek through the veil, the thin line between common reality and the world of horror and madness that lies beyond, under the watch of the eye of the bird. During his search, he was inoculated with the drug that they had used back then. The serum made Devitt's mind travel for a few hours to the dreamlike realm of the veil. There, he met his old classmate, Alexander Dupree, who urged Devitt to join his cause and cross with him to the realm of the bird. When Devitt woke up from his trance, he found himself deeply convinced by his friend's words. He traveled to Dupree's house, where he discovered his friend had dosed himself with a new serum, leaving a catatonic body behind. This new drug was capable of transporting the mind permanently to the veil and beyond. Finally, Devitt found a vial of the serum and had it injected. He met his friend again in the veil, and together they walked through the last door, entering a world forbidden to human eyes. Devitt's therapist, Dr. John Wakefield, worried about his patient's disappearance, and strange visions had sought the help of his colleague Professor Johann Kaufmann, an expert in the occult. Searching Anthony Beechworth's house, Wakefield and Kaufman found a disturbing returned letter in which Anthony had tried to warn Alexander Dupree of what could happen if the door was opened. He feared something from the other side might then come to ours. They are coming. None of us could prepare for this. The visions, screaming, were merely a warning. That is one industrious old lady. And now it is too late. I mean, it's not like the finest work, but... they are coming. Theme song guy. I know it sounds bad, but actually I found this intro not as good as the first one, just because of the lack of moving elements to it. The other ones had like the birds, the actual crows doing stuff. Well, I guess there's flame and stuff, but I like the image of London and everything. That's cool. Oh yeah. Last night, I had a nightmare again, but this time it was different. This time, he talked to me. It was the same unknown street, void of any sound and life. I walked aimlessly, as if I were lost. Then I could hear it, the broken tromping on the wet cobblestones, the familiar sound of approaching limping footsteps. That is one heavy walker, dude! Then, as before, he stood in front of me, gazing unrelentlessly, like he was expecting something. This time he spoke. Give me back what he took. Nothing else. Give me back what he took. Well, if you added a couple adverbs in there, it could help. No, I have fallen asleep again. What time is it? The time is the time. Dawn already? It is time. Alright, don't give me control then. It was several months since Kaufman and I had found that mysterious letter in Anthony Beechworth's house. A letter never sent, with a cryptic warning of what would happen if a certain door were opened. It bore only the name of the address, Alexander Dupree. We felt sure Dupree was key to finding my patient and friend, Jeremiah Devitt, who had disappeared in such strange circumstances. Troubled by the death of his friend, Anthony, Devitt had visited the school of his childhood and had never been seen again. Kaufman soon conveyed to me his deep concerns and warned that I should conduct any investigations with the utmost discretion. He pursued his own research. Though his thoughts and methods remained a secret, in his last letter he requested that I visit East Hill Lunatic Asylum in London. There were reasons to believe that Alexander had been institutionalized there for many years. I was asked to confirm this hypothesis and, if it proved correct, to gather whatever other information might arise. Well, we dealt with a sick house, now it's time for a lunatic asylum. This is just progressing wonderfully. Oh! I remember now. There were locations in this place. Season 2, Episode 1. The Playwright. So this is East Hill Lunatic Asylum. I hope I can find information on Alexander Dupree here. Ladies and gentlemen, don't miss the latest of the... whatever. Sea monsters found in St. Ives, whatever. Good morning. Boy, will you give me a newspaper? Yes, sir. It's 6 pence. I'm afraid I don't have 6 pence. Can you make change for a shilling? I'm sorry I can't, sir, but you know where to find me when you have the coins. What can you tell me about this building? The asylum? I've never been inside, and hope I never will. It's full of crazies, you know. Have you seen anything unusual around here? No, but maybe if you brought a newspaper. Goodbye, boy. Goodbye, sir. East Hill Lunatic Asylum. Just the place we all wanted to go. I suppose I should try going in the front door first before I go snooping around. Well, I'm glad they don't have like ways to go around all the sides of the building. This is the one where I haven't really played this as much. This is starting to get into territory where I'm actually trying to figure it out mostly on my own. The rose window brings a solemn air to the room. Good morning, madam. My name is Dr. Wakefield. I'm a psychiatrist.
Oh my, good morning. Forgive my manners. I get so excited when we have visitors. We don't get many these days, and certainly we're lacking experts like you.
What do you mean, lack experts?
Every year we get less funding from the Crown. First the doctors start to leave, then it was the caretakers. Very few Now very few remain, but we have a responsibility to our poor patients, do we not? We must care for them. They cannot be out living with the proper people. We must keep ourselves safe, and our patients too, of course.
I'm looking for a man who used to be a patient here a few years ago. His name was Alexander Dupree. Did you perchance ever meet him?
Alexander Dupree. Yes, there was one with a foreign name. I remember something of him. A good man, if I recall correctly. An educated man. But there was something strange about him, wasn't there? I believe it scared some of the other patients. You never know about this lot. I'm sorry that I can't remember much. There have been so many people here, it is hard to keep track.
Have you worked here long?
Yes, a long time. I can scarcely remember how many years. Time goes slowly in here, and the isolation, the rules didn't allow us to leave. I don't know what is happening in the world any more, but we have a duty, do we not? Who else will care for our patients?
May I request access to the Institute's archives? There should be some information about the man I am looking for, Mr. Dupree.
I'm sorry, Doctor, but the archives are private. We must not allow anyone to access them without the proper authority. Many of our patients come from good families, you see, and we take great care to respect their privacy. But do not look so crestfallen. You would not find much in any case. It is a long time since they have been organized.
Well then. Whew, doing that voice gives me a dry throat. Holy Toledo. A bookshelf. These books are not volumes of psychiatry or medical science, but old serial novels for patients to read. A serene, bucolic landscape with gentle colors. That was it. Okay, they're both the same thing. A portrait of a severe-looking man, most probably the founder of the Institute. An oil picture portraying Dymphna, patron saint of the psychiatrists, but also of those who suffer neurological disorders and victims of incest. She was killed by her own father, who chopped off her head after she refused to marry him when her mother died. Woof! I think that seems like just a little bit of a stretch. A slight overreaction there! This must be the recreational wing, where patients relax and pass the time. Perhaps here I can find someone who met Alexander Dupree while he was institutionalized. A marble bust of Hygeia, Greek goddess of physical and mental health. Well, I guess we're hitting on all the religions these days. The stone bust keeps the patient silent company. A sunny beach lapped by the waves of a gentle sea. A cheerful pastoral scene. A man wearing a worn-out military uniform, lost in God knows what thoughts. A warm decoration of this room suggests a great deal of sensitivity to the patient's moral needs. I kind of like that, actually. This place isn't a total run-down hunk of trash, at least not yet. The warm decoration of this room suggests a great deal of sensitivity to the patient's moral needs. Yes, I already heard that. A variety of old-fashioned landscapes that portray nature as tame and welcoming. Excuse me, sir. I could not help but notice your uniform. Were you in the army?
Leave me alone. You do not want to talk to a coward such as myself.
Sir?
Leave me alone. I am just a coward.
Well, alrighty then. It is odd that this is the only window shuttered. This curtain casts a mottled shadow over this corner of the room. Good morning, madam. My name is Wakefield. I am looking for a former patient of this institution.
The rumbling.
She doesn't seem to have noticed me. Madam, if I may persist, have you been living here long?
The rumbling.
I'm looking for a former patient of this hospital. You may have met him.
An eyeless gaze.
I'm looking for a man that you may have met. His name is Alexander Dupree. Yee! She's emphasizing points! What a strong reaction upon hearing Mr. Dupree's name. She must have at least met him. How can I get her to talk to me? Good morning. I am a psychiatrist, Dr. Wakefield. Quite an impressive institution you have here. Can I ask for your assistance? I am looking for a former patient of this institution. His name is Dupree. I'm sorry, sir. I have never heard that name before. Maybe one of your senior colleagues could have something about this former patient? Well, you could ask Miss Riswell in the entrance hall. She has been here for years, maybe for too long. You know we caretakers live here with the patients, and we are not allowed to leave the asylum's premises. This life can get to you if you don't take proper care. I try to keep as much distance as possible from the lunatics. The asylum is quite big, but I can't help noticing there aren't many patients around. Well, apart from those in the isolation ward, it is true that there are not many patients at present, but there are even fewer of us caretakers now. We are only 3 for the whole hospital. For what I've been told, in the old times the income was enough to provide for everything we needed. A complete staff, proper accommodation for the patients, and the best doctors. But as the newer, bigger regional asylums were built, the Crown's support was gradually withdrawn from East Hill. Soon everyone started leaving, and this is what remains. Well, thank you in any case. I will leave you to your work in peace. An unusually large mirror. Looks like a therapy log. Edward Rowan, 27, acute dementia, September 25th, 1891. Mr. Rowan's condition has degenerated since the last session. He is restless, as if the morphine had no effect on him. For the last week has been obsessive, troubled for reasons unknown. Let's see, September 25th. The patient's dosage has been doubled to no effect. Holy crap, that's a lot of morphine. I mean, morphine's pretty intense anyway, but cramming that much into you. September 29. Dr. Weddell has been attacked and bitten in the face. 4 men were needed to subdue the patient, Mr. Rowan. 3 markings were found on his body upon examination. Self-harm is a possible cause. Mr. Rowan is getting better day by day, both physically and mentally. His habits have changed considerably. He now shows an interest in religion and spends his time murmuring prayers, albeit ones unknown to my colleagues and me. Oh, that's a good sign. Yes, he's getting better, but now he's mumbling prayers. To Satan! A glass jar full of transparent liquid that may or may not be water. There is a coin resting at the bottom. Well, take the coin! Looks like a therapy log. Oh, I just read that. Okay, so all those papers were all the same thing. There's a thin piece of metal holding the window open. Oh my. Dark as the room is now, I can see through the false mirror. There is a man on the other side, heavily restrained, desperately trying to free himself. He has an expression of unbearable horror on his face. Well, the good news is nothing can go in and get him, so he should be just fine. Don't worry! We'll have you fixed up in a jiffy! Us psychiatrists know about this stuff. As long as we jam enough medication down your throat, you'll be fine! Okay, you need a newspaper or something to keep you occupied. And I think I've got a coin now, so let's see if I can do this. I like a newspaper. 6 pence, is it? Yeah! Thank you, sir! See if he has anything else to say. About the asylum. All right, you know there are always voices coming from the place at night, crying and singing, and the inhabitants cursing like damned souls. That's the usual. This night was different. It was all silent, I tell you. Not a single noise on the whole street. I looked at the madhouse and saw the windows black, no lights. Everybody asleep in that place? Now that's strange. Then I heard it. It was a scream like no other I've ever heard. Not a man or woman, but of a devil from hell. That is very curious indeed. Thank you for telling me. Sure. Goodbye, boy. Goodbye, sir. Okay, so now we've got devils from hell coming in here. I think somebody saw something they didn't want to see and they freaked out. Ooh, he's drawing. A few cardboard sheets lie on the bench. Each shows a perfectly symmetrical design in black ink. Rorschach ink blot tests. Please don't touch those sheets, sir. They do not belong to you. Good morning. Ah, yes, a lovely morning. Sunlight of a quite fascinating character. I beg your pardon? The light, it makes everything look different. You see, light touches things, soaks into them, and changes their nature. It makes them shimmer or makes them die. Do you live here in the hospital? I do indeed. My family is a generous benefactor to East Hill. They had me committed, but I don't blame them. They are just incapable of appreciating my art, or any art, for that matter. They mistake it for insanity. What are you drawing there? I'm not just drawing, my friend. I am trying to feel the light, to translate its power to the surface of the paper. Those animals don't like it, though. They don't want me to succeed, so they take them away. They take my drawings, and they study them, and they laugh, because my eyes can see the light, and theirs are blind. But someday, everyone will understand. Who are they, the ones who take your art away? Ha! Those foolish caretakers. They hide behind a big mirror where they think themselves safe, and they look at me, they observe me, they even take notes. You have some curious drawings right here beside you. Oh, you mean these? They are the only art that makes any sense around here. The doctors use them to cajole some patients into revealing secret inner truths. I won't return them to the doctors until they've returned the art they've stolen from me. My name is Dr. Wakefield. I'm looking for a man who lived here some time ago. Would you happen to know one Alexander Dupree? The name does not ring a bell. I have not been here long, though. You should ask the other patients. They may be able to help you. Some have been here for many years. Or you could ask one of the others, the brutes who keep us here. Would you happen to know where your drawings are now? I suspect they are somewhere in the archive, since I've been confiscated items taken there before. You seem different from the rest. Can I trust you? I've been trying to sneak in for days now, but Miss Riswell keeps a tight guard on the door. I even stole a key from one of those guards. You're a doctor. Surely you could gain entry. If you could recover my drawings, I would be so grateful. Here, take the key with you. Why, thank you. I must go. Have a nice day. Well, he's a very, very friendly lunatic. I like it. Inmate quarters. The large door is made of strong metal. This must lead to a secure ward of the hospital. Phew, that is one heck of a door. I mean, I find it funny how even with the simple graphics like this, you can still tell that that door is outrageously thick.
Why, thank you kindly. How thoughtful you are.
This is the hospital archives where a record of each patient must be stored. If Mr. Dupree was really committed at East Hill, his files should be here somewhere. The portrait of his restrained patient surrounded by caretakers and a doctor. It has been a long time since this desk was last used. It is covered with discarded papers and pens with a noticeable layer of dust. The drawers are all locked. Okay, can't use the key on that. This cabinet contains many documents detailing the treatments of patients ranging from 2 decades ago to last year. His file is right here. Dupree, Alexander, room 108A. All the files are missing. It is as if they had been torn out. Only a little piece of paper remains with an address written on it. Pole Street 26. Could that be where Alexander Dupree lived before he was committed to this hospital? Pole Street. I should follow this new lead and see if it takes me somewhere useful. Ah, Pole Street. Let's see. All the dates of this cabinet are prior to 1870. I'm looking for a more recent file. Oh, I've already... Okay, so I don't need that. I'm at a locker. A small sign reads, Seized Objects. Ah! Some personal effects, probably sent in by the patient's families but deemed unsafe by the caretakers. One of them is a stack of thick sheets of paper, carelessly bound together, bearing the drawings and paintings of a troubled mind. Watercolor paintings and drawings of different subjects. A tree, a vase with flowers, something that could be a portrait, but the colors are dispersed, shapes broken, decomposed and mixed in a whirl of bright flecks. Huh, I want to see them! Fine, don't give me the ability to see this guy's crazy art. But I seriously thought that would be kind of cool to put in there if they could, you know, put it down on paper or something. Okay, here are your drawings, sir. Go nuts! I'm sorry, too soon. Here, are these your drawings? Great wonder the back. Someday they will understand light and shape as I understand them. Thank you, friend. If you want, take these cardboard sheets. Thanks to you, I have no more need of them. A few folded cardboard sheets, each one with a large symmetrical patch of black ink in the middle. I have heard of this technique, but always thought it an eccentricity. Patients are supposed to see in them the deeper causes of their ailments. This is the first card. I see some sort of, like, insect butterfly thing. The shapes look organic. Yeah, again, it looks like an ant, or a spider of some sort with a dot in the back, like a black widow. A beetle? Almost like insects. Yeah, I'm picking that up. I would say this could be a face. Yeah, that looks like the guy's mask from earlier in the series. Let's see. Piece of metal. Does that work here? I can't open that heavy door with this. Alright, well, then let's just carry on now. Sorry. Make sure that I'm... Okay, we're good. I'm not sure if I need the Rorschach tests here, but let me see what happens. If I can't use them there, what if I go over here and hand them to her? Nope, 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 nope. Okay, well, let's go check out how Mr. Patient is doing. How you doing in there? He's still about the same. Okay, good. Just hold tight. Okay. So let's go to the other street. Paul Street, London. Hey, this looks familiar. The door is number 24. I am looking for number 26, which means it's probably not this one. Paul Street. It ends here at this corner. Number 26. This is the place I was looking for, but the door is bricked up. I must find another way to get in. The windows are so thoroughly cemented over that it almost mixes with the facade. Wow. Somebody did not want people in here. Oh, boy. The ruins of an old chapel, apparently destroyed by fire. Oh, this is wonderful, because the ruins of an old chapel in the middle of a game where I'm dealing with some sort of otherworldly, you know, horrific creature on the other side of the veil, I'm sure there's, you know, nothing bad gonna happen here. A mess of wooden planks and the remains of benches and chairs. Yep, this is a great idea. Let's just plod my way on in here. Oh, a crow! That's an even better sign. Is there a guy standing there? There is someone on their knees praying. Their face is covered by a hood. An improvised altar covered in candles. With this candle I can light my way through the dark. The wooden cross remains almost intact. Okay, let's just march right on in, shall we? Looks like this hole leads to the building next door. I'm glad he walks at normal speed with his candle out. Otherwise it'd be really annoying. And that's one of the things about the other one. I do understand them walking slower, but it's kind of annoying. This must be the interior of the bricked up building I saw on the street, Mr. Dupree's former residence. And it looks like a guy of total and complete sanity lived here. I cannot tell who is depicted in the portrait since it is so badly damaged. It seems someone crushed it into the floor. There is something among the ashes. It is a piece of paper. It looks like some kind of message, but there is only half here. The paper has been carefully burnt. Oh, I'm starting to remember this one. There is a piece of paper on the table. The paper shows only some seemingly random letters. It seems as if half of it is missing. This is strange. I have put both halves back together, but some letters seem to be missing from the right half. The message does not make any kind of sense. So I think there's a third piece. There's a middle piece somewhere. I'm not missing anything here, am I? The door is bricked up. A large metal safe. A few books remain on the shelf, mostly doubtful treatises in chemistry and alchemy. Among the titles are Trithemius de Lapide Philosophico, Gerber's De Inventione Veritatis. Okay. The anonymous work Turba Philosophorum and Ludwig Prin's Mysteries of the Worm. Looks like the safe is working fine. I should give it a try. Okay, so if I am missing certain letters, it means there's something around here I gotta find to finish this up. One man in high-rank uniform. He's missing an arm. A military medal. There is a relief of Her Majesty the Queen and several pieces of metal engraved with the names of battles unknown to me. I'll take this with me. Maybe it will mean something to one of Alexander's fellow patients in the hospital. Ah, the military man. Let's see. It's crushed into the floor. Is there anything on the floor I can grab? Okay. Did I just hear things? I heard things! Get away from me! Alright, let's see if I can, give this thing to the... See if I can give this thing to the military man. Maybe he'll give me some hint as to where in the heck I'm supposed to be going around here. Alright, back to East Hill. East Hill, crazy place. Why, Mr. Military Man? Oh, let's go also check on that patient since I'm going to be up here. Let's do that first and see what happens. I think he's probably normal. See, he actually does change, and that's one thing I remember about this, is his situation changes as time goes on. He's still there, strapped down on that table.
This medal! I had one just like this, got it after the Battle of Laing's Neck and Majuba Hill in 1881. A decade ago now, for distinguished conduct in the field, it said. What a farce.
See, you were in the army as I thought. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Dr. Wakefield.
Sergeant William Conghill, Her Majesty's 6th Light Infantry. Are you another one of those alienists? Do you doctors not realize that cowardice cannot be cured by your arts?
Why are they keeping you here?
The doctors say I suffer from a nervous disorder. I believe this is a term for when they themselves, with all their learning, do not know what to say. But I know the true name of my sickness. It is pure cowardice.
Or it's post-traumatic stress disorder. Or being shell-shocked. I am looking for a former patient of this hospital. You may have met him. His name is Alexander Dupree.
Yes, I did know a man by that name. We met briefly. He was here when I arrived.
What do you know about him?
He was a proper lad, educated. He listened closely to the stories of the other inmates, but he kept his own to himself. We talked a lot. He was very close to Miss Coney, too. I think they got here at the same time, but when he left, he did so alone. I wonder what has come of him since.
Who is Mrs. Coney?
She is a patient here, the lady with a tempestuous character. You may have encountered her already. She has not been the same since Mr. Dupree left. You know, she always sits to the side, alone and silent. I doubt you could talk to her at all, even if you tried. She sees things, or at least She thinks she does.
What did you talk about, you and Mr. Dupree?
We talked about my time in South Africa. I don't like talking about that. But he somehow made me want to. He was very persuasive.
Guy was like Johann Liebert from the Monster anime series.
He was very interesting in one specific story, almost obsessive about it. He wanted to know every little detail.
Could you tell me the story? I'm trying to find a patient of mine who has gone missing, and this could be my only hope to finding him.
I don't like to relive those memories. A missing patient, you say? All right, maybe my story will be of use then. It happened during the Battle of Majuba Hill. I am sure you've heard of it, in March of '81. The attack of the Boer army had taken us by surprise, and our regiment was forced to split up. We quickly found ourselves alone, just a few men lost in the barren plain. But I don't want to bore you.
No, sir, you certainly aren't. Please continue.
Dun dun dun.
Flashback!
As I said, we were few, and we were sure the enemy was lurking out there, in the cold air of dusk. A thick fog formed quickly, masking everything around us. We could barely see each other.
There they all are.
Then the others started to disappear in the fog, which was getting thicker and thicker.
Don't go, guys! Oh, another one gone. I'm by myself.
I could still hear their footsteps for a while, then nothing. I called their names.
Wow, that goes by way too fast.
I felt something in there. Not far, a murmur, a beating, something alive, waiting for me in the fog.
I'm adding some of that in at this point because, frankly, I have no idea how I'm supposed to read that fast. Yeah. I think there's a corpse there, dude. Yeah, I think your guys are all lying dead right now. I'm surprised he hasn't tripped over any of them yet.
Then the mist cleared out.
What had happened?
I never knew for certain. I didn't see anything, or if I did, my mind refused to bear such memories.
What happened to Captain Skid?
When he finally regained consciousness, it was like someone else looked out at us through his eyes. I guess whatever happened affected him, changed him. I knew he came back to London. Mr. Dupree asked me of his whereabouts. Maybe he tried to contact him. To hear the rest of the story, he was quite preoccupied by it.
Do you know where I can find Captain Skid?
The last I heard from fellow veterans, he had lost himself in a frenzy of alcohol, opium, and bad company. This downward spiral led him, as many others, to a wretched nadir, a dirty hole deep in St. Giles' Rookery, known as the Crimson Nest. Mayhap you will find him there, alive, even if you are lucky. This is a picture of our regiment. You can see him there.
The one who looks totally high. St. Giles. Okay. We got ourselves another path here. And you're still on the table. Okie dokie. Okay. Well, let's go check in on this guy. Oh, this is it. This is where the guy meets me. This is the slum of St. Giles. The Crimson Nest shouldn't be far.
This doesn't look familiar at all.
No, thank you! Go away! This man. He looks like the man from my nightmares. He is blind in one eye. The empty socket glistens in the lamplight. He seems to want something from me. In my dream, the man said, "Give me back what he took." Okay. I think this has to do with, Oh! Oh my god. Now I got it. The heat from the candle has revealed a set of letters painted with invisible ink. Alright. Well. The whole message is readable now. It seems to be Latin. I think it reads, I've seen a dead eyelid move. Okay, that is 6145. And that is probably the combination to that, to the thing in the thing with the place and whatever. This way. Follow me, everybody. I know what we're doing. You gotta go back through the broken church and by the crazy person who's praying at the altar in the destroyed church. Hi, crazy person! And then you go down this way, all the way back over here. Through the room of the creepy footsteps. And then we go over here, and there is some nice background noise, and then there's this. So, it was, and we're going to check this one more time, 6145. Let's see how this works. Yep, that was it. It is empty. Wait, this is not a safe, but an entrance to a passage. It is completely dark. The only way to know where it leads is by crawling in. Well, then let's just do that. What in the heck is that thing? That is one hell of a machine. Oh, there's a guy lying there. We'll get to that. Mathematic formula written fast and carelessly. Some of these symbols I have never seen before. 4 chairs forming a circle, as if the hideout served as some sort of meeting place. A strange mechanical machine built out of wood, steel, and glass. I wonder what its function could be. There is someone sitting here wearing a horrible mask and a yellow robe. He is not moving. It is only a yellow robe. There is no body inside at all. What can be the meaning of this? Bet you're riding the crazy train. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to break and enter. Okay, you may carry on praying. The creaking of the machine has stopped. Okie dokie! Well, just walk away now! Yeah, whatever. It seems like anything in like an area of effect of anybody who's ever messed with the last door suddenly goes spontaneously nuts. But I'm gonna see. I think maybe the mask is what this guy wants. Do I want to go check that patient one more time before I go and hand over this thing? For some reason, I don't think it's going to change, but I don't want to miss it, because it is kind of interesting to see this guy totally going nuts. You know what, for the sake of time, let's just carry on. Alright, dude, is this what you wanted? If anything, it'll cover over that awful eye. He looks at the mask for a second, only to step back again. Give me back what he took, he had said in my nightmare. Okay, so that's not it. He does not want the mask. So why do I have the mask now? Maybe I can use it to jog somebody's memory or something. Alright, let's go talk to the old lady. She says she knew him. Well, let's check our favorite patient, and then we'll see what happens. Oh, he's up and about! Look at that! A man is sitting in the corner, looking in my direction with a cold and emotional gaze. Well, at least he's not stuck anymore. Whoa! She did not like that mask! It is the isolation ward for you this time! The face of the playwright! The face of the playwright! Okay! Not exactly the reaction. Well, everybody just went off on that one. A man is striking the glass strongly with his fist. His expression is of pure hate. I don't think he can see me, but I feel that somehow he knows I'm here. Oh, boy! I'm out of here. Later! Okay, so let's go check the isolation ward. Hey, I wonder what happens if I give it to him. Nope, nothing. Darn it! Uh-oh. She's up and about.
That poor woman. They must have taken her to the isolation ward.
Well, let's go check the isolation ward. The isolation ward, where they all chill out. Woo! There went every potential subscriber I was going to get from this video. Oh boy, I'm even ashamed of that one. Room 102A. I think this is the one that he was in. Oh, wow! Dude! Some, herbicide might be good in here. Hello, my name is Dr. Wakefield.
The butterfly is not what it seems.
Excuse me, but what butterfly?
This is more after the scarab.
Oh, these. This is the butterfly you talked about.
It displays its wonderful colors, fills your eyes with awe, but this is only a show. Behind the veil, its body crawls on the dirty ground, hides in the darkness, and transforms another of its lies.
It's the veil. This person has also experienced the veil. So what could this be?
Its dark body creaks and rustles with its blind movements. Slowly, step by step, it gets closer and closer and closer.
What about this one?
It will come whenever you do. It will cry out loud, looking at you from everywhere, at the same time.
And what about this one? Oh, this is going to go good. We saw what happened to the last person who saw the mask.
Him.
Him?
His mask. My mate from the other room used to scream at night, always told us he could feel something under his bed. A presence, an eyeless gaze.
It's getting the chills. Okay, so the other room. Let's go check this out. An old pendant on the dresser. It looks valuable. I'll take it. Okay. Room 104A. I don't remember which one was supposed to be Alexander Dupree's. Room 106A. An impressive painting of a lovely maiden. It is equipped with a fitting, magnificent frame. Nope, no, you don't head out. You get back in there. An expensive-looking piece of furniture. There is nothing on it. A mirror covered in dust. I wonder what things it has seen in this room. Could this be the room of the patient's mate? Who was afraid of a presence under his bed? Aha! Sneaky little bugger. The door is bricked up. Why would they do such a thing? There is something written on the wall. One of them came last night. I knew what it actually was because of the sign it carried, the sign of the eye. I killed it and hid it well. If more come, they will not find their friend nor its eye. I doubt anyone has slept in this place in a long time. It seems one of these tiles is loose. I cannot get at it with my bare hands. It's too heavy. There is something there, half buried in the soil under the tile. Ooh! It is a long dead bird, just feathers and bones. It is holding something in his beak. It looks like an eyeball! Hey! A dirty and horribly deformed glass eye. Alright, I think we've figured that out. So this goes to the guy. The door is closed for good with bricks, like they were pretending it never existed. They didn't even try to disguise it. A bunch of bricks, either the construction of recent and not yet finished, or they were in a hurry to seal this room. The door is shut and locked. There is no way to open it.
The face of the playwright! I'm crazy!
Alright, let's go. I think we can give this person their eyeball now. And boy, is there a sentence I never thought I'd hear myself say. I gotta give this guy back his eyeball! I'm wondering, I don't remember what the pendant was for, but let's go check out the, let's go check on if Mr. Patient is moving. All of a sudden he starts moving a lot more, like, recently here, so let's see what he's up to. Oh, Mr. Patient! How are you doing today? Oh my! He did some work on that thing. There is a big crack on the glass. Oh, and I got a achievement for the good doctor. Yep, that's exactly what I was shooting for. If you keep checking on him and you get all the different variations of his progression, you get that achievement. Okay. So now let's give this guy his eye back. Here, let me give that a spit polish for you. Alright, there he is. Here you go. Well, fine. Bye then. Yeah, there's a hole in the wall. This must be the Crimson Nest. I've heard of such places where people lose their minds to opium shipped from the Orient. I never thought I would set foot in one. Apparently you haven't spent enough time with Holmes. An addict's completely asleep. A man with a lost gaze, his mouth open.
Please don't do this.
Uh-oh, I think somebody's hurt themselves. What is the matter, madam?
My husband, he is unconscious. Please, dear, wake up.
I am a doctor. Let me see him. I am so sorry. He is not breathing and he has no pulse. Your husband passed away hours ago.
No, 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 it can't be.
Madam.
I'm late. This time I couldn't save him.
What do you mean this time?
I discovered my husband's addiction in this hellish drug they call opium months ago. At first I thought he was sick, as I saw him grow thinner every day. Then I discovered he was visiting this place. I was very worried. I tried to dissuade him, but he wouldn't listen. The addiction was stronger than he was. At times he was away for days. I would come here and find him passed out. The only way I could wake him was to put these smelling salts under his nose. Now it's too late. Here, take the vial. Maybe you will be in time to save another soul from this curse.
Well, thank you. The musician is intoxicated with the drug smoke that fills the air. The repeated arrangement gives the sensation that time flows slowly. A woman looking at the roof with her eyes going white. She's muttering some ramblings. A short-haired woman, smoking without worry. Hello, I am looking for a man who I believe frequents this establishment, a war veteran from the south of Africa called Skid. He is writing on a slate. Can you understand what I'm saying? He has written can't hear, so I suppose I should communicate him by writing on the slate. Looking for Captain Skid. Don't know. He doesn't know the captain's name then. He has written something else. Object of value. What does he mean by that? It means he wants a bribe, the little bugger. Here you go, take that. A man lying on his back, his breathing raspy and layered with phlegm and other liquids. The smoke has eaten away at his lungs. A man is curled up under a blanket, trembling as if he were freezing. It could be an effect of the drug. This young couple seems to have come here together to enjoy this despicable vice. It's great that people go out and do things together these days. A table with several opium pipes on top. Some of them must have been used recently. A Chinese screen with floral ornament. It is Captain Skid, no doubt. He is unconscious, but he still breathes. There you go. Wake up.
What's the matter? Who let you in? Get out!
My name is Wakefield. I need to talk to you. Are you Captain Skid, Her Majesty's 6th Light Infantry?
That title belongs to me no more. Who are you, and what do you want from me? Leave me alone with my misery.
A soldier that used to serve under your command told me I might find you here. William Congle.
Yes, I remember him. We served together. I have made many mistakes trying to forget those years of my life. Now I am afraid those memories will follow me to my grave.
I'm looking for information about a man called Alexander Dupree.
I used to know a Dupree. He was not a man, but a fiend. What do you want with someone like him? There are certain secrets that are better left undisturbed.
A patient of mine has disappeared. Alexander is the only one that may know his whereabouts.
If it is true that Dupree is involved with your patient's disappearance, then I'm afraid the matter is out of my reach. Yours too. Now please leave me alone.
Have you ever heard the name Jeremiah Devitt? I must find him.
Devitt? No, I have not. I found your medal.
I found your medal. It was in a house on Pole Street, door 26. You were there, right?
You think you know what you are doing, but you cannot imagine what you are getting into. I am asking you for the last time. Leave and forget this matter.
I will not leave until I find the answers I am seeking. Tell me what I want to know.
Tell me what I want to know! Jack Bauer maneuvers! You fool. That's, for the devil's sake! Alright, if you want to ruin your life, you are free to do it!
What really happened on Majuba Hill? Sergeant Conghill told me the story, but his details were confusing.
I will never be able to forget that day. Nobody knew what really happened. Command decided that we must have been ambushed. Now I know better. There was something in that fog. Something that did not like us entering its domain. A sentinel of some sort. That thing is what killed my soldiers!
Did you meet Alexander Dupree?
I was in the Veterans Hospital recovering from an illness unknown to physicians, an ailment of the soul. Dupree managed to contact me there. He wanted to know my version of the story, what had happened to me in the Battle of Majuba Hill.
Do you know why he was so interested in your story?
I did not know immediately, but with time I realized the truth about what happened. To me, it was important to his activities. As was I, but if you think he tricked me, you could not be more wrong. I wanted to enter the dragon's mouth. I burned with a need to know.
Don't worry, the coughing is all part of the act, and voices and stuff. Inside that house I saw a machine, still operating. What was it?
Machine? I did not know what you were talking about. That was just one of many places I used as a base for Alexander's activities. The only one was whose location I was allowed to know.
What was Mr. Dupree doing then?
You really do not know, do you? Have you ever heard of the playwright?
Yes, I have heard it mentioned before. What is it?
As I imagined, you know nothing. Dupree is not alone. He is but the peak of a pyramid, a vast group in which powerful people take part. A society acting in secret ruled by a single sacred law. See that no one knows.
Videte nequisquiet. That line.
I was part of it. Dupree himself recommended me. We gathered every month. What we saw, you cannot imagine.
I don't know, I've seen some pretty crazy stuff already.
A curtain of normalcy protects the mind from something, an outer something. The fog of the veil protects us. But through the veil we could peek out into the abyss. We could know of the unspeakable shapes that writhe beyond. A black nothingness, entirely full of horrors. We could never cross the threshold. What we saw is forbidden. Look at me, forbidden! I could not bear it anymore, so I ran. I ran and I hid from them. It was too late to run or to forget.
I must go back to East Hill and try to talk to Miss Corney. If what the captain said is true, she must have been one of them. She could know where to find them. Why do I suspect Miss Corney is not going to be doing so hot? Oh, that's good. Hi. Well, it's a lovely theater. I cannot do any more of this.
I don't care. I just want us to be together.
I know it is too hard. I don't feel free.
I know, dear. I know. We will figure it out.
How are you home so early?
I knew all along. How could you?
You know you never loved each other.
Silence! You have no honor! And you, what do you have to say?
Well, excuse me! You wouldn't understand,
Enough! You will leave in the morning! I won't see you ever again! I'll wait for you at dawn under the old windmill, so you can try to recover what little honor you once had.
I'll be there.
Take a bow! Take a bow! Encore! Encore! That riveting story just makes me want to go figure out what happens next. I must have fainted. What is this? Where am I? A matchbox. This could be useful. I cannot see outside clearly. An old piece of furniture. There are marks on the dust on the floor. It looks like the chair has been moved recently. Shifting the chair revealed a small dark hole in the wall. The match is too short. I cannot stretch my hand in further either to see what lies beyond the hole. There is a blanket on the bed. I'm taking a shred of this blanket. Okay, if I wanted to build a torch, I'd try and break off one of the legs, but... Or I'll just light that on fire and... I could swear I saw a pair of feet in there. Who is there? We have met before. I cannot see you. Who are you? Do you not recognize my voice? No, I am sorry I do not. Do you know what this place is? It is the starting point, the first place to look. But who are you? What are you doing there? Remember this. I will not be here forever. Darkness will light your way. Stay out of the light, then I will disappear, and you will be alone in the end. I don't understand. Tell me who you are. The door is shut for good, and it has no knob. No keyhole, even. I can hear breathing behind the wall. The blanket is now ruined. Okay, I can't do anything with that, so there's got to be something else I can... Yeah, you can hear breathing. Let's try and do something with that. Oh man. Oh, I guess I must take it with me. Oh, that's right. If you do darkness, then you'll be able to see things. But oh. Devitt! Is that you? Devitt! Uh-oh. Oh, this is looking good. I found Devitt! Tell me, why are you doing this? Is it because you care about your patients? Or out of scientific curiosity? Is it for your pride? Because it is your professional responsibility? Or is it because it is the right thing to do? Mostly because of scientific curiosity. Why are you doing this? And it's the right thing to do. No, Devitt! It's alright, mein lieben Freund. How are you feeling? I feel dizzy. What happened? Where are we? At my house. I went to East Hill to meet you and found you inside one of the cells. Unconscious, your clothes stenching of opium smoke. I had you brought here. You've been out for a day and a half. I think it's coming back to me. I was at one of those opium dens. I might have passed out after breathing that dense smoke. Listen, I have much to tell you. My investigation unearthed a great deal of new information. Alexander was indeed institutionalized in East Hill, but his files were missing. I managed to track down a man who knew him. He told me a story you would not believe, and... There was this woman, a patient at the hospital. I was completely out of her mind. She attacked me. What is happening to these people, Kaufman? How is this Alexander related to Mr. Devitt? I think this patient, Miss Conhay, might know how to find Alexander. You must go back there and talk to her, wherever it takes. I'm afraid this will not be possible. What do you mean? Frau Conhay is no longer at East Hill. She escaped last night. God Almighty. Do not worry, my friend. I think I may know where she is hiding. Get ready. We must leave promptly. They are coming. They are letting him in. Now that the door has been opened, they are coming. Oh! And there she is. Okay. playwright was created thanks to generous support of players who participated in the crowdfunding campaign. Well, there it is, folks. That is the first episode of Season 2. Thank you, everybody, for checking it out. This series has always been a fantastic, and I've always found it very interesting. Love this entire series. So look forward to next episodes coming out. I will be publishing the entire second season. But until then, thank you very much for dropping by and checking out the vid, and you all have a great rest of your day.